So I'm reacting to an article here that's suggesting that Hillary's going to go after the Republican foreign policy establishment. That is the Bush team. The Colin Powells, the Condoleezza Rices, those types of people. And I'm just gonna say the same thing I've been saying for a while. That's really the point of this. It's reinforcing, right? She takes the left for granted. I mean, what are all the hippies gonna do? Vote for Trump? Damn it, Bernie. I know you can't say it yet, but let's start being a little vague, alright? It's very true that they won't vote for Trump. And they might vote for Jill Stein, okay? And the more you poke in their eyes, the more likely they will, okay? But they will vote for Bernie Sanders. If you put his name on the ticket. That's all you had to do. Write it in, and they will vote. It's about 5:30 and I'm wide awake. I'm just putting the last touches of things I need to do before I can switch over down. The show tonight's not till 10, and it's within walking distance from here, so I don't really have to worry about it until around 8 or 9. That should give me plenty of time to, if not get done, at least get very close to it. So, I do expect that I should be able to turn that machine back on tomorrow. For right now, I'm going to throw a bunch of things in the garbage. So we can see again the books are doing their job in pushing things down. Okay, so here we go. First thing to throw out are many bounce sheets. So that's how long this has been sitting here for. I actually just got my laundry put away finally. So many bounce sheets in the garbage. This is my container of strawberries from the other day. Right in there. I'm actually surprised by the fact that there's only one container of cheese, or only one cheese wrapper. Did I get the last one before? Or? Well, there's one that's almost done, so it's, yeah, just about there. There's a salami bag. Get that in there. 2 bags of Doritos, ketchup, and zesty cheese from the nachos that I made when I got back from the last show. This is a wrapper for J-cloths. I bought sometime like last year. Many stickers from grocery shopping the other day for tomatoes and bananas. This was in the Razor packaging. It seems to be some kind of electronic scan thing. Really, it's a tracking device. I don't know. You see them on like CDs and stuff. I don't know, or textbooks. I don't know why they ended up on the Razor specifically, but hey. It's the masking tape that was up on the water drip thing. This would have been from opening up a salt container. Not getting on there. Some sock fuzz. It happens from time to time. This is some shit from the inside of my school bag. I need a new school bag. Although I don't go to school anymore. A new all-purpose bag. But it comes out every now and again, and it needs to get in there. So Kasich has also dropped out. Good or bad? I don't think it matters so much. But I do think Kasich would have actually seen his numbers go up without Cruz. It wouldn't have been from Cruz voters exactly, but a lot of people that were voting for Trump to stop Cruz may have used up. The thing is that the states that are left are not the right states, except maybe California. That would have been awkward, huh? Kasich winning California and preventing Trump from clutching. Then what? Well, nothing, probably. Trump just wins on the second ballot, right? Like I said, this is only feasible now that Cruz is gone. So long as Cruz is running, Trump does win in a landslide, because nobody wants to take the chance that Cruz might win. But when Cruz is out, the stakes are not so dramatic, and there's a little more room to go with what they really want. That's not what happened, though. What happened was that John got a call from head office informing him that it's done. Trump's the guy. And they don't want to take the chance that he might frustrate the process. Because what if Kasich does win California? That would be very awkward, wouldn't it? It's been clear for a few days already, but watch it really pivot now in the next few weeks. Okay? He's going to be rebranding himself more or less by the book. Expect flip-flops on certain issues. Expect gushing media coverage from people that were criticizing him last week. Expect every ridiculous thing you can imagine. And hopefully, maybe expect a little bit of coaching for it to begin to show. Just a little bit. I'm not talking about, totally changing the Trump brand. But a little bit of coaching would really help, to stop him from saying things that he's got to, pull back. Not that I'm rooting for him or anything. It's more just that I really think it would be very helpful if people knew what they were voting for. Is he running as an establishment Republican? Well, let people know so they don't vote for him. And is he running as, some kind of a leftist? Well, then let people know so they do vote for him. Right? It's just really unclear. It's vague. What are we going to get? Because what's going to happen in a few months is that people are going to vote for what they know. They're not going to take a chance, okay? Everything happened to align the right way for him in the primary. But if you get to November and the option is, moderate conservative Hillary Clinton versus who knows what the fuck you're going to get with Donald Trump, Clinton is going to beat the snot out of him. Because at least people know what they're going to get. Even if you're going to lie to people, the smart kids will figure out you're lying to them. But just, be consistent, pick a side, and get a message down, and be clear about it, right? Because what I'm seeing right now is that he's being pushed into aligning with the Republican Party, but he's not really. It's almost like he wishes he had run as a Democrat. There's there's a certain level of hubris that you need to accept as the Republican nominee, right? There is. And, he seems very hesitant to, accept that hubris to be a Republican. And, if we could get, are you really opposed to NAFTA? Are you really opposed to the TPP? Do you really want to pull people back? I think that his VP choice will make things very clear, okay? I saw some interviews with Ron Paul where he's like, no. And I don't blame him, right? He was the only one in the list that I put down that I thought might actually do it. And what I was thinking was, I thought that he might jump at the opportunity to actually influence some policy. Because you can bet that he'd be pretty influential. But he seems to be suggesting that he doesn't want to run for a Democrat. And hey, I can see where he's coming from that too. Although, how can you blame him for not being completely clear on where Trump stands when Trump himself is not entirely clear, right? I think that there's an argument that Trump is a lot closer to where Paul stands than Paul is suggesting. But Paul is reading something entirely else into it because Trump is completely unclear, right? And in the am I right? Is Trump right? Sorry, am I right? Is Paul right? Is Clinton right? Who knows, right? And that's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to say is that he's got to be a little bit more clear. Um, Otherwise, instead of pulling in the people that he wants to pull in, and expelling the people that aren't going to support him, he's just going to push everyone out. He might be thinking that by being vague, he'll pull everyone in. That's not how it's going to work. Okay, by being vague and not taking a position and nobody knows what you stand for, what you're doing is you're pushing everyone away. Because even if you can't believe what Clinton says, you know where she stands, right? This is confusing. It's going to be a messy, messy election. And I keep trying to say that I'm going to tune out. I'm focusing on Trump. This is going to be the end of the focus on Trump, of course. I'm really interested in Sanders, and so long as Sanders stays in, I'm not going to tune out entirely, right? When it does come down to Trump versus Clinton, of course, I'm not going to have much interest. But that's the deal with Kasich dropping out. It's they don't want him to accidentally win somewhere. That would be a catastrophe, wouldn't it? Okay, so I've learned that I do have my email backed up here in these virtual machines. That's what I was hoping for. It's there. I might be able to get it off this machine anyways, but if not, well, I'll check to see what's on this machine first, and if it's not there, then I'll come back to here. So that means the last thing to check, and I'm just going to do this briefly before I go to the show. It's what, about 8 o'clock? Yeah. So I want to leave here around 9. The weather looks okay. If I leave here around 9, I should get there before 10. That's the goal. So yeah, I just want to check briefly to see if I can find any information on any old mailing lists. There's a few that I have in mind that I'm looking for the archives of. I can't, actually, you know what? I should check to see how much email I have first. Yeah, because I don't know how far back that goes, right? And I might be able to get some hints out of it as well. So, okay. Yeah, that's the smart thing to do. That means that, in fact, I might even be able to get this machine on when I come back tonight. That's going to be a major step forward. I'm there. All the shit's done. Great. Well, I was on my way out, but it is in fact raining. I knew it was sprinkling. It's supposed to stop within an hour or so. Doesn't sound so bad. I got a jacket. Truth is, it's been I've been very lucky regarding shows so far since I've started filming. I really only there was that one really cold night in February. Besides that, I haven't had a rain day. In fact, most of the shows I've gone to have been the warmer days on the calendar. But tonight it is raining, and I'm gonna have to deal with it. So I'm gonna walk from here to the store and then see where it goes from there. I tried to buy a 30-cent cookie to get cash back at the store, and I ended up getting beef jerky. Damn near hurled all over the counter. Stuff is disgusting. It is just barely drizzling, but it's enough to be a pain in the ass.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do like island hopping. Move from A to B, stop for a sec. May see if I can find somebody with a cigarette. That would be a good opportunity to stop for a minute, and etc. I'm more concerned about the camera than I am about anything else, really. It's not that wet. I should really just not be concerned about it and just go. This is the fog lounge. It's like a... I don't know what it is. But it's, like I say, the only spot in Windsor I'd really want to hang out in. Not that I'm an asshole, it's just, it's the only place that actually gets any like live music in. Actually, that's not true, it's just the other places are mostly like metal and the kind of hardcore I don't like. So, that's where I am for the night. Yeah. And there's the inside of fog. When I came in, there were actually, the bar was almost full. Then cover clicked in. And I suppose this is what I was saying about, this is pretty much the only place that I hang out in Windsor, and it seems to be that whenever I go to some place like this in Windsor, it's empty, right? So it's maybe not the best city for me in that respect. I'm more of a Detroit person, obviously. I think I may actually literally be the only person here to see this man. That's fine, I'm not complaining really, but it's going to be a bit for us. So I'm walking out of the bar here. It was a decent show, worth the $5. Don't know what's going on over here. Kind of want to find out. Yeah, let's find out what's going on over here. Oh, there's no cover there. I'm gonna go around the corner, get a 20, grab a beer, stay there. There's one more band. It's a little after midnight. I'm feeling pretty stable, so I think I should be feeling a little more tipsy. So that's what I'm doing. Sorry, I wanted to. What was the band like? They played some new material and some old material. The new material was a little bit more muscular. And I found it a little less enjoyable than the poppier sound on the record. You know, it's shifting. Bands do that. The record is actually quite interesting. It's kind of got a little bit of a prog feel to it, which is not... it actually is fairly standard for Vancouver bands, actually. It's kind of the funny thing about it, but it's a little, I mean, it's idiosyncratic, right? You don't hear that a lot, but you do hear it from Vancouver bands. Probably the best band I heard out of Vancouver in a while is the SSRIs, and it's certainly nowhere near as cracked out as that, but it kind of got a little bit of a feel on that. So, I mean, if you like that, that Vancouver sound, I don't know if you want. It does exist, right? Hot Heat, SSRIs. It kind of in that space. It was, like I said, the record was good. The newer stuff was a little bit more like muscular, generic garage rock, not as good. The first band was a little poppy for me. I was expecting that, but that was enjoyable. Night's not over yet, though. I am going to, like I say, grab a 20 out of here. Hope I can find somebody with a birthday present, and keep going. They took too long to sell me a beer, and the band sucks. So I'm gonna check Fog one more time, and if there's nothing there, I'm gonna head home. Yeah, looks like I'm done after all. not the end of the world. Home it is. Now, I'm getting pulled back there. I'm gonna stay and have a beer. I get the feeling that something good might happen. I don't know, just do. So I didn't get what I was looking for, unfortunately. Had some interesting conversations standing outside, and I'm on the way home. Was that bad and any good? It was moderately fun. I don't even know what they were called. I think they were from Brantford. Brantford being I think that in 2016 we can say that Brantford is a suburb of Toronto, and actually mean it, rather than it being, just loose speaking. I know the last time I went through there, I didn't feel like I got out of Toronto until I was like heading towards London. So I think that Brantford really is, and I know that based on the results of the last federal election and the last provincial election, Brantford is now officially a suburb of Toronto. So I know I'll get some pushback on that, but that's my perception of it. Anyways, it's a small town in, I guess you could say the area is southwestern Ontario. I don't know what they were called, but they were mildly fun. There was an interesting part during the set where the guitarist walked through the crowd and towards the window, and it became clear that his guitar wasn't plugged in. Now, I do suppose that it is a possibility that he was using a PA system. I think that's unlikely, given the nature, the size of the band. Those PA systems aren't free, and they're not cheap either. So I think it was actually pretty clear that they weren't actually playing. And, I had a little laugh about that, but whatever. People enjoyed themselves. And it was worth the beer, I'll say that. But I mean, it was generic pop punk. It's the kind of thing you've heard 1,000 times before. The kind of thing you'll hear 1,000 times again. Did my intuition work out? Was that worth it? I think I had an interesting conversation at the end on the way out. Then again, I'm not done walking home yet, so who knows. I think that the broader ramification of this is that I'm going to get a pizza, because I have some change in my pocket now. And it's enough to get a pizza. So, hey, that's what I will do. If they're open, and I think they should be. It's around 1:30. It'll be just on the button, though. We'll find out when I get there. Yeah, nothing really to take note of there. The debate was, is it possible to be a nice crack dealer? And I claim that's a contradiction in terms, because crack will destroy you. And it does not matter how nice you are still ultimately pushing something that will destroy you. And the counter argument was, yeah, but you can push destruction with a smile. And ultimately it was different concepts of what nice means. Anyways, I'm walking to get a pizza. Hopefully it's there. I guess I had 4 beers tonight, started around 9. I'm sober. Well, it's, it's what, 3, 4, less than 5 hours anyways. 4 and a bit. Might not even be, because I guess I started around 9:30, right? So, more like around 4, a little less than 4. So, that's not enough to get me. I'm too old tool to get drunk off 4 beers in 4 hours. But I did enjoy my night. I wish it was. I wish I had found what I was looking for. A few more runs. A few more runs. Cause I still haven't found. That's a red light. It's a green light. What I'm looking for. It's a little after 2, and that is a beautiful thing, I have to say.